Most personal trainers deliver 1-hour PT sessions. For most of my career though, I've done 45-minute sessions. And in this video, I'm going to explain how that technique made me the top earning trainer in my gym, but also empowered my clients to take more control of their own training. If you're new here, my name is Alexander Lyon. I've been a personal trainer in London for the last 10 years. I'm currently earning around £90,000 a year, working 3 days per week. And I help personal trainers to make more money and have more impact with their clients. So if that sounds good to you, then please hit the subscribe button, click that little bell, and let's get into it. The first thing to understand is, how does a 45-minute session work? Very simple. It's still a 1-hour session. That's the secret. It's still a 1-hour session. The only difference is the first 15 minutes of the session, you're not involved. They're just doing their warm-up, they're doing their stretches, they're doing their activation. You obviously show them what to do the first time or second time, but after that it's their job to warm up. And if your client is serious about becoming self-sufficient, which many clients will suggest they are, then they should have no problem in taking charge, proper charge of this first aspect of the session. If you're ever asked, well, this personal trainer does 1 hour and you only do 45 minutes, why would I go with you? Well, just simply say to them, and be quiet, like say it with chest, listen, if you want to pay me for 15 minutes to watch you warm up on a treadmill and do some stretches, I'm happy to take your money. But the reality is, it's not a good use of your money and it's not a good use of my time. So I want you to warm up on your own. It's very, very simple. You don't need me for that. Focus, you use this time to focus on what you're about to do. I will then meet you and then we'll get straight into it. Sound good to you? And that's it. Nipped it in the bud. Now, one caveat for this technique is that it works best when you work in a commercial gym, because now I work in a private studio and this isn't really doable because you only have a very finite amount of space. So you can't have people coming in whilst you've got an appointment with someone and they're just doing their warm up, and it's supposed to be a private PT session. However, in a commercial gym, if that's where you operate, and that's where I've operated for the most of my career, this is very doable because the gym is massive. You just got to go over there, warm up, I'll meet you in a sec. The other thing that's important to understand about the 45-minute session is that most of your clients are going from 0-minute sessions to 45-minute sessions. That is already an enormous jump. Some clients will argue with you and say, no, I need the whole hour. To that, you simply respond, listen, if you can show me that you can work out at a high intensity for 45 minutes, then I have no problem giving you more. Remember, this is more for beginners. If you're a more advanced trainer, you're going to need an hour anyway, let's be honest, right? An hour to an hour and 15. But you're going from 0 to 45. That's already a massive jump, and most people can't even keep up with that. So humble yourself and take one step at a time. Clients will often argue they need the whole hour with you, but they just don't, right? The only reason they're saying that is because other trainers have offered that and you're not offering that. And you just have to remind them, the session is an hour. It's only 45-minute sessions with me. You do 15 on your own. The other thing that's important to understand here is that everyone likes to think that they're very busy. Everyone does. When you can sell to them that your training method is simply more efficient than the other trainers, and that's why you're able to offer a 45-minute session rather than an hour or an hour and a half in some other trainers' instance, and you can sell time efficiency, you can sell the fact that you're giving them time back in their day, they can't really argue with that. So, as I said, there's a lot of different ways you can sell this, but quite frankly, it's an easy sell. It's an easy sell. You should be able to sell this because it makes sense, it's logical, it's fair, it's the truth. It's a good sell. So just explain that clearly to them and you shouldn't have any problems. Now, in terms of the business side of the 45-minute sessions, is very simple and very effective. When your colleagues do 6 personal training sessions back to back, you will have done 8 personal training sessions. Now, I'll come on to how the money side of that works in a second, but just by doing that, you have already got 3 benefits. 1, you've increased your visibility on the gym floor. 2, you've increased the chances of getting referrals because you simply have more clients to ask. And number 3, you decrease your financial volatility. Again, you have more sources of income. It's less likely that 5 clients are going to cancel as opposed to 1 client. Do you know what I mean? So if you lose 1 client, you only lose 1 45-minute session. If you're doing the hour model and then you have a really bad week and you lose 3-4 clients in that week, that is a huge downturn in terms of your total income. Whereas it's less of a hit because you work with more clients but for slightly less time. So you have more sources of income, and so you have a little bit more safety in knowing and being able to forecast your finances moving forward. In terms of the selling 45-minute sessions as opposed to an hour should theoretically be easier because you're gonna ask for less money up front. What I always used to do was I would run the 45-minute session model, and I wouldn't broadcast this, but I would make it clear to people who asked that I was the cheapest trainer in the gym, right? I was the cheapest in the sense that in terms of the price of the session, I was the lowest. Now to explain this, in one of my old gyms in 2018, 2019, there was a trainer in there. He was the top trainer in the gym when I joined, and he would charge £50 per hour for his personal training clients. I would deliver 45-minute sessions when I arrived, and I would charge £45 a session. So on the surface, I'm actually making less money, right? But then when we would run full shifts, he would deliver 6 sessions within 6 hours. I would deliver 8 sessions within 8 hours. He was getting £50 a session. I was getting £45 a session. At the end of the 6-hour period, who made more money? Him with his 6 clients or me with my 8 clients? In the same time period, I made more. I made 360, he made 300. Now let's say we extrapolate that over 4 days per week for 4 weeks. So that's 16 working days, that's a pretty chill month, right? What would be the numbers if we were to compare at the end of the month? This trainer had made £4,800. At the end of the month, I've made £5,760. So nearly £1,000 more. Again, that doesn't discount the fact that it was also, in addition to making more money, it's also easier for me to get more clients because I'm selling a lower ticket. I'm selling something that's cheaper. But if you extrapolate my hourly rate to the full hour, I'm not the cheapest trainer in the gym. I'm actually the most expensive trainer in the gym. And all you've really lost is the warm-up, where you don't really add much value anyway. So for me, this was something that really stood me apart from a lot of my other colleagues. It enabled me to have an edge. I was doing something a bit different to them, which made sense from a business perspective, it made sense from a service perspective, and made sense from a retention perspective. So in all areas, it makes sense. Now, as I say, it does work best in a commercial gym, but you can apply this logic anywhere as long as you don't mind clients coming and going and the clients are cool with each other. So I hope that all made sense. I hope that was valuable. I hope that's something you'll consider trying yourself, because for me, if I was to go back to a commercial gym, that would probably be the way that I would run it again. It's always worked super well for me. So if you found any value in this content, if there's anything helpful I said whatsoever, then please consider subscribing, hit the little bell at the bottom. And that's it from me, guys. I'll see you in the next one.